We are talking kaboom players that are going to go absolutely nuclear for NFL Week 16, whether it's your fantasy football championship or Week 2, your fantasy football playoffs, or whatever it may be. I'm going to give you the guys that are going to go boom for NFL Week 16 at each position. Stay to the end. I'm going to give you all the top defenses to play as well. If you want the complete guide for NFL Week 16, go back a video, did a full preview for this week, giving you all of the optimal starts and the guys that have tougher matchups at each position. Go back to that. This is more of the guys that are going to go kaboom, that have tons of upside this week based on matchup, based on talent, okay? Excited to dive into it. Short video here. Happy Friday. I know a lot of people are getting ready for Christmas. Listen, I'm excited. Christmas is here. Finally, hope you guys are Ask Santa and you guys are, get what you guys want this year. But if you guys want to actually win and get what you want, make sure you guys do, of course, get the NFL picks below. I've got all my picks, every NFL pick listed below right here, guys, in the Counselor's Edge. I'm delivering winners. So that is my present to you. If you want all my picks, get the Counselor's Edge. I linked it below, all right? And smash it, tap it, slap it. If you're new to the channel, hit that thumbs up. It's really going to get you guys light years ahead of the consensus, aka the consensus, guys. So make sure you guys do hit the thumbs up and drop your start to six questions below. I'll try to get to as many as I can, all right? So we're talking kaboom players. Let's start off with the quarterback position. Again, if you want the latest news and, of course, everything up to date, go back, check out the last video for the complete guide, okay? So the first player that could go absolutely nuclear in NFL Week 16 is Michael Penix. Now, I looked up his college numbers. He's good all around. The guy's touchdown interception ratio was solid. He's got some rushing upside, but he's no Jaden Daniels by any means. But he's making his debut. He's making it against the New York Giants. Now, some people are saying, do I start and sit Michael Penix Jr. in his debut? And the simple question to that, the answer to that is, it depends. It depends on if you have a more consistent quarterback. Like if you got Josh Allen and Michael Penix on your bench, I'm starting Josh Allen. I'm just giving you an example, right? So you got to start your starter that's been consistent. But if you've got an option that's been mediocre, or a player that's been mediocre all year as your starter, you may want to take a role on Michael Penix. But this is fantasy football playoffs. It's a very risky play, but it is a favorable matchup. I think he's going to have a good week, but you never know. First game jitters, you just don't know. Okay, obviously the Falcons believe in him if they're getting the start, and he's got a good matchup. Okay. He could go absolutely crazy this week, okay? Next one is Baker Mayfield. Love him versus Dallas. Josh Allen versus New England. This guy has been amazing. 44 points last week. Big-time MVP talk here for him. And 55 plus the week before. Josh Allen has been my quarterback this year. Absolutely amazing. You got to start Josh Allen if you have him. And also Kyler Murray. Great matchup this week as well. Another top consideration that could go absolutely crazy. Mind you, he's coming off a 10-point week last week, but Kyler Murray has the opportunity to go crazy this week, okay? Let's talk about the running backs. Now, the guy that I absolutely love, I think he's the best running back in the game, is Jahmyr Gibbs. And now he's got an opportunity to really, really shine. So I want to talk a little bit about Jahmyr Gibbs here, okay? And what really pisses me off is the fact that David Montgomery and him are a committee. Now, some people say, well, David Montgomery does really well. Yeah, but Jahmyr Gibbs is so much better. He's more explosive. He's dynamic. Every time he touches the ball, we got a breakaway home run type opportunity here. So Jahmyr Gibbs now has the opportunity to really, really crush it. 25 plus attempts this game, coming up. And he's got a favorable matchup versus Chicago. 28 points last week. Now, from what I hear, David Montgomery could be coming back for the playoffs. This is not going to matter for fantasy football. He might be coming back for the NFL playoffs. It's a ligament issue. Instead of getting a surgery, he's going to rehab it, and he hopes to come back. Now, from a fantasy perspective, we're still in a good position with Jahmyr Gibbs to go absolutely crazy. He is going to be expensive for DFS if you are looking at starting Jahmyr Gibbs, but he is going to absolutely go crazy this week. Great matchup, tons of opportunity, ultra elite talent. Love him. And again, his overall ceiling has been capped by David Montgomery, which has been an absolute pain in the butt. It's been really annoying because he's a guy that could be a true workhorse running back that could get 40 points a game every single game and literally break NFL running back records. That is hindered by another pest being there, okay? Jan, great matchup versus Giants as well. Josh Jacobs versus New Orleans, another guy that could absolutely go crazy this week. Now, there's other running backs that could absolutely go crazy, and there's other players that could absolutely go crazy. What I'm listing here are the players that are going to go crazy that are extremely talented and have a great matchup. Again, there's other players. Go back and watch the complete guide video in my last video where I'm going over all the optimal starts and the guys that, have tougher matchups, okay? Get to wide receiver, tight end, and of course defense. Before I do, guys, go visit our partner, mybookie.ag. This is the site I use, and if you put down a deposit, guys, you get a 50% match deposit. Mybookie.ag is the site you want to go to. Use code FFC. This is the site I use, and I know a lot of people are out of the fantasy football playoffs, but if you're still in the actual, in fantasy play this week, but you just want to get into some bets, this is the site to do it. MyBookie.ag is the site I use. I trust. Go put down your deposit. You'll enjoy it a lot. Okay. All right. Let's go to the wide receivers right now here. And all the guys that could go nuclear at wide receiver. And then we got tight ends and we got the best defense to start. JSN, great matchup this week. We got Malik Neighbors versus Atlanta. Unbelievable matchup coming off a 24-point week last week. Jamar Chase, Captain Obvious. Still, man, great matchup. He's been on a roll. Start him everywhere, even in DFS. I don't mind paying the premium. Great talent. Devontae Adams versus the Rams, and Mike Evans, man. Mike Evans been solid versus Dallas. Optimal matchup. Look for a boom type game out of him, okay? Now, the tight end. Start your tight ends. When you're looking at starts since week 16, start your tight ends that have been relatively consistent regardless of matchup. But the guys that could go absolutely crazy this week, we got Brock Bowers, who's been solid all year versus Jacksonville. We got Laporta versus Chicago. Great matchup. And I love Brenton Strange this week. An opportunity to really shine versus Vegas. Easy matchup. And I think there's a ton of upside. They're going to be looking for him, okay? Because, again, there's not a lot of playmakers on that team. Brenton Strange, good matchup, okay? So, the defenses, okay? Now, again, start your defense. It's been consistent every single week. But a couple guys that have good matchups here are the Bucks, the Lions, the Colts. I do like the Falcons and the Bills. All great matchups this week versus position. Absolutely loving the Falcons matchup. Again, Colts versus Tennessee, that's divisional, could be tighter, but Tennessee hasn't been outstanding this year. Colts could have a good matchup. Lions, Bucks, man, great matchup as well. Make sure you guys consider starting to stream these defenses, okay? These are players that could absolutely go crazy. Again, drop your starts and sits questions below. I want to make sure you guys are fully prepared in a very crucial must-win situation here for you in the fantasy football playoffs, all right? These are some guys that have massive ceiling. Hopefully, they're on your team. If they're not, make sure you draft them using 16 rounds next year, okay? Smash it, tap it, slap it. Drop your questions below. Hope you have an outstanding weekend. I'll keep the content rolling here. We go year-round, NFL news, fantasy football, and we'll start rolling out the 2025 content. Have a great weekend, everybody. Get your Christmas shopping done. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.